director of the Baptist School of Uganda, Baptist Church School of Uganda. So he's very happy of receiving those items here for those kids. For those kids here. So I'm also very thankful because the Enthronement Foundation wanted to do this in a more expandable year in the future. So and I hope that I will receive the blessing here so that we can come back next time. Okay. Do more better. Do more good things like with the school. To make sure that this school have need a structure so that those kids here can have a better education system. The entire elementary school. I'm opening my device. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, as Wiedersehens, guten Tag, guten Nacht for certain people around the world, bonjour, bonsoir, good evening, all my listener. I would like to thank you, I would like to thank God, for giving me another day. For those who believe in true God, I do believe in the true God, the God of Abraham, the God of Noah, the God of Enoch, the God of Moses, and the God of Jesus Christ, the one of my ancestors, my father and my mother, Elohim. That's the God I know. Now, I always do this on Saturday because that's the day in which God created human being after he prepared the field for men to live in. We have a very, very important topic today that I will be presenting through this channel. I am Gabriel and Icon, a real and authentic ambassador of the kingdom of heaven on earth. I am the founder and chairman of the Charity Medical Foundation IT Inc., the Comfit Global Health Consulting, and the Comfit Global Consultants. So I try to do all my best to serve God in a way that I know that He inspired me to serve. But today, I will be sharing very important information to you. Jesus Christ mandated me a letter to send to the President of the United States. Like I always do, even though that I have no response from him. I don't expect any response from him, but I have another letter that I need to go, and it's just time. In my challenge that I have, I just don't have time to do it, but I got to do it because Jesus Christ keep pounding that it got to be done. So if I had $1 million as a capital, I work for myself and I sign for contract like this, federal business opportunity, and I will be able to have more time. But because people don't want to share what God gave them from heaven, people have billions of dollars and they can share even $1 million to company like mine to start somewhere. So that's the problem. in this society, and I'll be talking about it today, the Jesus Christ politically incorrect individual who live in this earth, who is alive waiting for people to invite him in their home, in their house, or people are more focused on how they're going to survive. Trust me, my friend, if you don't have God as your backbone, you can do nothing. If you don't have your health, your simple health, you can even achieve what you're dreaming of achieving. So when I see people, they're over there, they're over there, they're over here, they try to get things done, and they don't even pray for 1 second to invite Jesus Christ. I just ask myself, did this person actually know the reason why he's here on earth? I mean, how does he came up to become a human being? It's very sad to see those kind of things. Now let's start. As you can see, I have people who went around and around talking about how Gabriel and Icon is smelly. Gabriel and Icon have bath tooth. I mean, you look at my tooth right here. Do I look like that? I mean, people don't even listen to news. They spend all the time gossiping and listening to people on the street instead of going online and typing and seeing people. You see how people are looking at, and you get the right information, and you use your intelligence to filter what is correct and what is not correct. I am 100% healthy. I will say it again, I will reiterate it again. I am 100% healthy. Jesus Christ don't come before my face with a mask. Okay? If I was an infected individual, Jesus Christ should have been coming close to me with a mask. Okay? But I am not. He come to me closer than any other human being because I am healthy. You know why I'm healthy? Because he breathed in me more than any other human being on earth. That is the breath of life that God has given to the first man. If God breathed in me, in somebody, what there are people on earth to challenge my strength or to challenge my state of health? Ignorance is a problem in a civilized society. One more time, it is. You know, if I say to you that I am healthy, I am healthy. I don't need your medicine. If God who created you, who can take your breath in less than a second, breathe in somebody, what do you expect? Do you understand medicine? Everything is frequency. Everything is energy, and everything is frequency within that energy. It means when God breathes in somebody, do you know what happened? God is sending what it's called the divine code of life into the genome of that individual. It corrects every single error into the backbones of the DNA. That's what it is. You guys don't understand, and I just don't understand, folks. Now, I'll go for it. I'm very healthy. People should not be ashamed of being around me. There's no one that is cleaner than I do. You know, it's not something that I'm just saying. I was born like this. I was born like this. I mean, when I was a kid, I was born to be clean. The difference is that my name don't have clean on it. It should be Gabriel and Icon clean, or clean Gabriel and Icon. That's the only thing missing, because I was like this since I was a kid. So it is not when I'm going to grow up that I'm going to change. I even became even more disciplined into my state of well-being, my wellness. And also I was in the military, so it makes it even more and more discipline. Okay, so for people out there who don't know me, you have to come close to me to realize how wrong you have been all those years. For people who are making light to you, they're doing that because they don't want you to talk to me, because they are afraid, because they know I'm a good talker. Therefore, if you guys start talking to me, you're going to start telling me the truth of what's going on around. So they have to create this situation and telling you lies so that you don't talk to me. That's the plan of the devil, using those wicked people out there doing evil work. And I know who they are, and God is giving them one more time to change their intention before God changed them. Therefore, that's why today's topic will be the universal mechanism of change. Why? Change will change you if you refuse to change. See, there are constellations in heaven with all the stars and planets, and there is one constellation far, far away from our galaxy. It is the right hand of God. Everything in life that is in the hand of God, there's nothing a person can do other than follow that. That's why Jesus Christ said in the Bible, "Into thee I give you my spirit," because you have, when God comes, you just have to say, "I'm laying everything down. Let you do with them," because you cannot fight God. That universal mechanism of change will change you if you refuse to change. God, at the primordial thought of creation, created a mechanism in which the universe will function, the harmony, the structure, how the sun rises in the morning, the count of a rotational, I to call like that, or revolutional orbit of the earth that create the revolutionary movement of the earth. All of that, well calculated, don't happen by chance alone. It happened because it was measured by God at the primordial thought to be as such. So those characteristics depend on the law, spiritual law, that command natural law to maintain that harmony and equilibrium accordingly. So you can come and say, well, you can just do what you want to do in life. No. God is giving us time so that we can learn and make adjustment. If you don't, God, universal mechanism will change us. We want it or not. That's why many people are there that are after me, doing what they do. When God time will come, the change in the universe will change those people who don't want to change. It's just a matter of time. That's the reason we're coming. The regressive motion of salvation. Some people, they just don't get it. They believe that they have control. They believe that because I'm speaking like this about God, suddenly I have to have $1 billion in my account. Suddenly my life have to change. Suddenly things have to go well. So if things don't go well for me, therefore maybe there's something I might be doing, or either God is not with me. My dear friend, I'll ask you a question. Have you read the story of Jesus Christ in the Bible? Have you read the story of Moses? Have you read the story of Elijah? Have you read the story of David? Have you read the story of Joseph, the son of Jacob? Have you even read the story of Jacob? Have you read the story of Isaac? Have you read the story of Ishmael? Have you read the story of all those who came before me written in the Bible? Because if you have read it, you should not be misinterpreting how my life is going. Those people went to heaven was suffering than I do. But at the end, because they have followed God's path, they became successful people, millionaire. If you want to convert that today. But they started with nothing. What do God did to Moses? What do God did to Moses? Go and read the story. God removed Moses from the house of the Pharaoh. It means where the wealth is. He said, I don't use the thing of the earth. I don't use things that are established that have Lucifer hand on it. I'm not going to use you as the next king to become Pharaoh so I can use that power to do my work. No. I will take you out of there. You're going to go to suffer in the desert and I will build you from there. That's what God did to Moses. What is difficult for people to understand what God is. But because this, our country today, the United States of America, have deviated, the United States have deviated from the truth in which it was founded by George Washington. People start believing in false God. People start believing in Satan and Luciferic practices for the prosperity of this nation. God is not happy about that. Do not believe that because you have big houses, because you have a big salary, because the economy is doing kind of well, that you believe that God is with you. When God bless you yesterday, He doesn't going to change His blessing today because He already saw what's going to happen. So don't be confused. God has blessed this nation. He doesn't going to change it because He already knew that somebody is going to be doing what they did. But in the meantime, God is giving time for the people of the nation to realize that it is time to change. Because if you don't, God is going to change everybody by phenomena out of our control. He will allow things that will make us think twice and change our enterprises. That's why many people are missing about God. They believe that the God of heaven is the God. Well, yeah, it's the God of everything, God of big wealth and all of that. But as the Bible says, unless you become a child, you cannot enter His kingdom. What does that mean? It means that you have to let go of those things. What is it? What a child mean to you? A child is somebody who cannot have what they want. They are giving what they need. And sometimes they have to deal with what the situation that they don't want to be in. A child depends on his parent. He wants it or not. That's what God wants everybody to be, from the president to the lowest person in the society of every single country in this entire world. But people don't want to do it. Who do I refer as the Father? God. We have people. They believe that because they have the power here on earth, therefore it will be the same thing in heaven. You have it wrong. Jesus Christ said, greater He who live in you than the He who live in this world. He's telling you, your belief of this world is Luciferic belief. It is a Luciferic belief. Because I do not live into this world, I live in you. That's what Jesus Christ is telling you. So you want to find me? You don't find me in big car. You don't find me in $1 billion in your bank account. You don't find me in big houses. You don't find me in big title. You find me inside of you. Now what do people wanted to talk about different kind of things that do not make sense? This country, like I mentioned last time, because somebody said to me, whoever teach you what you said about the demon, it is wrong about America. It's because you're blinded and you don't have the Spirit of God in you to open your eyes. Okay, my friend, if you believe that God exists, you got to believe that Lucifer exists. If you believe that divinity exists, you have to believe that abomination exists. You cannot say, I believe that the man exists, but the woman do not exist. Because a male is called male because female exists. Otherwise, he will be given a different name. Why do we have to call God holy, holy, holy? Because there is a cynical individual called unholy. Otherwise, God, they will not be using holy. So what is the problem of people understanding that there's evil that exists in this world? If I say that America is the center for all demons, what is the problem of people accepting the truth and start changing the character, giving their life to Jesus Christ and God? Why? It's not because you guys did anything. Man, in fact, nobody did anything. You were just born and end up in this world. You open your eyes, you saw funny faces, and then as you grow up, and then you start living the world the way it is. But what happened is that demon was cast out of heaven. So they came into the world. They have their position into the second heaven, which is the star. They're controlling the star. Why? Because they want to control the star, because the star are where all the blessings are given. So what God did, He created stars, and in stars, that's where all your blessings are given. And then there are moments in life where your blessing from the star penetrates your body at the right time. You meet the right people, you get an increase in the job, you have the right job, you get promoted, you get elected president and Trump elected, because the star got brighter at the right time and said, okay, this is the time and it came. Now, if there is an interference, demon interfere between your star and you don't gonna get it. It will be postponed, or somebody else will get it. So you gotta be spiritually smart. So Lucifer now sitting into the second heaven, blocking people to get what they're supposed to have. That's the reason why the Luciferic kingdom is centered in second heaven, not very far away from the third heaven. So that's what they're doing. That's the job. Now, what do Lucifer do since the beginning of his revolution? Since he was cast down into earth and out of the heaven, of the third heaven, he followed the first nation in the world. Every single nation. He went from Egypt, and from Egypt he went to Babylon, and from Babylon he went to Greece, and from Greece he went to Rome, and from Rome he went to other countries in Europe, and he stayed in Europe for a very long time. And from Europe, the world is what it is today. Europe have colonized the entire world. Europe is the center in where the New World Order was created. They colonized everything. They even came in America, they came in Canada, all over the place, New Zealand, Australia. Europe have control. I mean, they changed the world completely. Africa today is the way it is because of the European. They divided it. Even the United States of America, it is based on the European. I mean, they divided it. I mean, they sectionalized territory when they were here. Talk about the British and the French and all these people. even Canada. So he been there, he been following the first power nation of the world. Establishes demon there to control the money, to control the government, to control religion, and control politics. That's the work. Because when he does that, then he can control everybody. And then control the entire world as well. That's what he does. So it is something that people should know. So now let's go back to what is thinking right. When God say love God, when the Bible says love God with all your mind, with all your strength and all your soul, because a person who have a right mind, have a right thinking, and have a right living. And if Lucifer interfere with your thinking, with your mind, he will interfere. You're going to have a wrong thinking and a wrong way of living. And we see it a lot here in this country. A lot of people doing things that are not godly because they don't have the right mind. If you don't have the right mind, you don't going to have the right thinking and obviously not the right living. Then God said, love God with all your mind. It means have God mind. Let God have control of your mind. So that your thinking can be right. So that your living can also be right as a result. If you love God with all your heart, the heart is what makes a person open to receive God's blessing. The heart of God will make a person be kind, and make a person be honest, and make a person love life, not distraction, and make a person love others by extending both of his arm, to make a person respectful to others, make a person apply pure and honest justice, and make a person to be a person, an individual of unity, not division. When you have that kind of heart, you then have the heart of God. Then now you go and then you say, love God with all your soul. You must give God control of your soul when you're still living in this earth, so that the probability and the likelihood of you being saved can be increased. If your soul is not belong to God when you live, the probability of you entering the heaven, even by chance alone, even by chance, it is 0.0000000. You know what it means? Never gonna happen. And the probability of the power of being rejected from heaven, it is closer to 1. That's what it is. So what's the problem, people? People don't get it. The Bible is very clear, but you have to know how to interpret the allegory written in there. You have to know how to interpret the allegory written in the Bible, because it is an allegorical book. That's what the Bible is. Now, we go further. I am sending a letter to President Trump very soon. Now we're going to receive my letter. Jesus Christ has a very important message for him. Then you're going to see the power of Jesus Christ. The power of Jesus Christ compared to the challenges that are coming. Now, the return of Christ. But before I talk about the return of Christ, I will talk about intelligence. Because there are many people who don't understand. Education is not intelligence. Education is a reference. You do not earn or build intelligence through experience, or you don't have intelligence. You don't acquire intelligence by going to school, but you build your intelligence, or you discover and build your intelligence by going to school. What does that mean? It means intelligence is an innate thing. It means you are born with an intelligence. It means every single one of us have a form of intelligence, even the animals. An example, the bees. The bees polish the flower and make the honeys that everybody consume in the world, and also help flourish the earth by polishing the flowers. They have an intelligence, something that we cannot do. Every single one of us have an intelligence. People have that confused. Education is a reference. Like I work in McDonald's, I work in Burger King. It is a reference. Therefore, I have an experience. But intelligence, you cannot get it through experience. It is something you're born with. The thing that you got to do is discover the intelligence you have. It can be singing, it can be how to write, it can be how to speak, it can be mathematics, it can be biology, it can be the genome discovery, it can be system biology, it can be mechanic, it can be electricity, it can be astrology, it can be astronomy, it can be life science, it can be biology, it can be biomedical, it can be biomedical informatics, it can be medicine, it can be public health, it can be economy, it can be social work, it can also be teaching. Every single one of us have that intelligence. It can be businessman, it can be an innovator, and can do things. That's what it is. So you got to be open to do those kind of things. That's what intelligence is. You are born with it, and you don't learn intelligence in school. You discover intelligence in school, and you develop that intelligence to be used in the world. Many people are confused. They go around. They believe that because they have big degree, they are entitled of something. No, you're not most intelligent. That's the reason why people in a Luciferic way, they understand the word. When they go to school like Harvard, they go out of school and discover the intelligence. And an example, Bill Gates went to school. He discovered his intelligence, and he grew up out of school and used his intelligence to create Microsoft that everybody is using today. The founder, Steve Jobs, did the same thing. Harvard, dropped out, discovered his intelligence, and created Macintosh, Apple, Mac machine. Mark Zuckerberg, from Harvard, discovered his intelligence, dropped out of school, and created Facebook. All of those people are billionaires today. They are among the richest people around the world. It proves Jesus Christ came here, he went to school using intelligence. Today people don't even understand the Bible until today. So those are the argument I have to support this, that intelligence, because many people don't get it. Every single one of us, even the crazy man on the street, have an intelligence. You don't have to go to school to be successful, but you have to go to school to discover that intelligence and develop that intelligence. Otherwise, you will discover that intelligence in suffering on the street. And if you're wise, maybe you can discover that intelligence, because in the street you might be using your intelligence in the wrong way, but in school it will direct you into the right path to discover your intelligence. That's the difference between the school of the street and the school of an institution. Because in the school of the street, you might or might not discover your intelligence. The likelihood of you discovering your intelligence in the street is very low compared into the school. Because even in school, some people might go to school and never discover their intelligence, because some people are just stubborn. But every single one of us has an intelligence. Go and find your intelligence. It is not a diploma. A diploma, it is a reference. I went to this institution. It is a reference. Intelligence is not an education. Education can be used in your intelligence. But even education is not an intelligence. And intelligence is not education because it is an innate thing. You are born with it. It is a birth trait that God have given to man. How do that work? I talked to you today about the star. The star where your blessing are penetrate your body through the 7 vital center. They are called the astral DNA of your human structure, because they are spiritual DNA that are unseen by our science today. That's how your blessing penetrates your body. Now, how that intelligence is in us? It is in our cosmic DNA. Cosmic DNA is directly connected to the cosmos, to the heaven. It comes from there. Okay? So that's what I want to say to people. You have to build. You need Jesus Christ to help you, because if you don't have him, you're going to fail. You might say, well, I have a lot of experience in this, I have a lot of this and that, but it is just experience. If you only use what the word is providing you, you will never going to be able to use your intelligence in a very efficient manner, like somebody like Bill Gates have done. That's what God is after. Jesus Christ discovered his intelligence and use it. And today people are talking about it for years, and it's going to be like that until he return. Bill Gates, I don't know. We're going to be using computer into the end of Lucifer time. We're going to be using Macintosh. We're going to be using Facebook so that when you use your intelligence, you discover your intelligence and use it efficiently, it will last forever. It will last into something else, into somebody else's intelligence. Come and dominate that one. It is the truth about us. So don't be cocky because I have a PhD. Don't be cocky. It is just a title. It's just a reference. It does not refer to you are an intelligent person because you have 10 PhD, because you have none. It's not. It is a reference. A person who have intelligence can say, well, the likelihood of that person to have discovered his intelligence with a PhD or those degrees might be high. You have to say might be high because he might not even discover his intelligence yet. But it might be because he went to school, so he can be directed. Because when you went to school, what happened? You face challenges, challenge your brain, and you start finding what you're good at. It might take years. If you go into the school of the street, you're going to face challenges too, and you're going to start discovering what you're good at as well. But you have to be with a good crowd on the street in order, or be receptive to the voice of God, to use your intelligence effectively. Discover the intelligence and use it effectively. So don't think that you are entitled of something because you went to school too much. You're not entitled of anything. You are entitled of your intelligence that God has put in you. You have to discover that intelligence, use it, and then you can say, I am entitled of this because it is encrypted into my genome. But you're not entitled of things that men have created, because they can take it at any time. But God gives something to you, He will not take it, because He already knew from the beginning into the ending how He will be used or not. My dear friend, you have to give your life to God, to open your mind, to think outside of the box, understanding things, because God and God alone can save you. Now let's go back to the return of Christ. As of today, I wanted to reiterate to you that certainly Jesus Christ will return for the second time. Why do I know this? It's because he has spoken about this into the book of Revelation. And everything that he has spoken into the book of Revelation has happened, or it is happening, or will happen. I am not inventing anything. Therefore, because when I pray as well, I can invite the Spirit of Christ. I know for certain it is happening what is written. Those who will call for me, I will be near to them. It is written in the Bible. It is written there. So that is another validation and affirmation of what is written. Many people believe in things. If the people who worship the devil are preparing for the rise of the Antichrist and the false prophet, why do the people who pretend to be Christian don't do the same? Because the people who are worshiping the devil, they already know what is coming, because the devil is telling them. Because what the devil want to do, he want to attack the return of Christ. So he have to prepare, because it is men he will use to do that. So what is the problem with people picking up their Bible, going to church like freaking Mongols, like freaking people who are robotics or something like that? We have to pass that level. We are not anymore into that level. We have to become spiritual, understanding spiritual things. Because somebody who is truly into the Illuminatis or New World Order will tell you who is the Antichrist, who is the false prophet, because they are already alive. Jesus Christ spoke to Sadhu Sanda. Sadhu Sanda, it is an Indian converted Christian who reached a high level of spiritual state, that his spirit, his soul traveled to the heaven, I can say every single day. He can see Jesus Christ physically. I see Jesus Christ spiritually, because I have a spiritual gift with higher sensitivity. So that's what God is using. God don't use the way he made you. Now that will develop into, there will be a time where I will see him physically. Now, and there's also other factor why he doesn't want me to see him physically. They're interfering around. Now, he also see all the angelic things that are going around. Physically, he does see those things. Jesus Christ said to him, the Antichrist is the Pope, the actual Pope, Pope Francis. He's the Antichrist. Now, Jesus Christ don't say things out of the blue. Okay? That man, he will not come and tell you things that are not right. He is the true living prophet of God on earth at this point. And Jesus Christ confirmed that with me, that he's true. That everything he says is correct. His name is Sadhu Sanda. Now, why do the Pope is the false prophet? The Pope is a false prophet because it is written. And you look the way he's living, very clever. It was couple presentation I said to you that the throne of Lucifer, it is in the Vatican. And it is there because the Vatican are worshipping the devil and also worshipping God at the same time. But you have to comprehend, the devil have to be controlled. It was meant to happen. Because when God cast him out here, we have to face the consequence of rejecting God in the first place. And in the process, people we're gonna have to choose God or Lucifer. Then, if the Pope is the false prophet, as Jesus Christ said, he is not a young man. The Pope is already above 70. So if it is the false prophet, like Jesus Christ said, we don't have too much time left. God will not tell you the time. That's what he's been doing. But he will give you sign for you to estimate the time, because he gave you the brain. Now, I have news for you. If the false prophet is alive, which is a Pope, already an old man of 70, do you think that the Pope have more than 30 more years to live? Unless he became a demon who cannot die, which might be the case. We don't know yet. Everything looks fine now. So if the Pope is in this age, 70, it means that the Antichrist is already alive. Now the Antichrist is from my generation. The Antichrist was born in the year 1980. He's alive. And the Antichrist came from a very good, wealthy family. You see, Lucifer will not use poor people like God, because he doesn't have the true power. He have to use people that people will believe, because they have money and power. Everything they're gonna say, people are gonna upload. That's how Lucifer functions. So we have the false prophet that exists, and we have the Antichrist that exists. It means we don't have time left for the return of Christ. And that's why he keeps saying we don't have time. He will not give us the time, but we don't have time. The Antichrist exists. He's from our generation. He's a young man, from a very wealthy, known kingdom in this planet. And Jesus Christ will Father, Berlin will be the capital of the new world order of the Antichrist chosen in Germany. Rome will be the religious capital of the new world order, where the false prophet will be. And Berlin will be the political capital of the Antichrist in Germany. The spirit of Adolf Hitler will rise one more time in that region. Then the economic capital is yet to be known. God is a God of wonder. Many people into the Illuminati, they know what I'm talking to you today. They already know that. But it is a secret thing, because they are preparing how they can stop the return of Christ. People will say to me, how do you believe that men can stop the return of Christ? You don't understand how this fight is. God has given power to men, so the return of Christ depends on men, and that's why Lucifer is counting on. When God says we are not ready, because it's all depends on men. Therefore, an event has to happen to trigger that return. Because if everything goes the way it's going today, peace, 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 that return will be postponed and postponed. So things have to be chaotic to trigger that return. So event will happen, and event will happen rapidly. Jesus Christ said, when I return, I will be like a thief in the night. You have to take his word very carefully. A thief in the night, what does that mean? When a thief comes at night, it means he surprises you, you're sleeping. That's what it means. You know, the Bible is an allegorical book. A thief in the night. A thief comes at night because the thief knows that you're sleeping. So if you're sleeping, you will not be aware of his coming. That's what it means. It means, translation, thank you. Let me drink my vitamin water. Translation. Thank you. Translation in our word. He will come when everybody will not be aware of his return. That's what it means. Everything that I say here, it is true. And people must believe, or should believe, if they want to have an everlasting life in heaven. People must believe. If you don't, you'll be lost. You will be lost. You have to believe in the Bible. The revelation of Jesus Christ written in the Bible. Very essential. So without further ado, I will let you hear, and next time I'll be talking about Africa problem, the roots to the new world order, because the African problem, it is rooted into the new world order. Like I mentioned before, the African problem is controlled by the new world order, where the base is in Europe. It will be in Europe. Jesus Christ is the only one who can save us. Even Donald Trump, I have a letter for him that Jesus Christ wants me to send him, and I will send him a letter. We have to be very open-minded. People are suffering. You see people from left to right, they look happy, but they have problems in their life. Jesus Christ is open to receive everyone. Do not hurt one another, but love one another with the everlasting love of Jesus Christ. You can fake those stuff. We're living in a life today of people are identifying themselves with the money they have in the bank account. People are identifying themselves with big things. But they only believe, no, Jesus Christ came because he was the only one person just to come and play that role and no one else have to suffer anymore. No one else have to suffer anymore. You have it wrong. Jesus Christ came to show you the way God wants you to be. Being in the image of Christ do not mean that just talking like Christ. No. It means living the life the way he lived. My question that I have for one person: why do a person will accumulate billions of dollars in his bank account when people that God created in his image are dying around the world? That's the question I have for those people who have those billion in the bank account. You yourself saying that you're a Christian, you believe in God. Every single person you see, either the person is in Afghanistan, or the person is in Yemen, or in Africa, or in Iraqi guys, or a person from Nepal, whatever those people are, God, they are made with the particle of God. God is in them. The Spirit of God is in them. They might believe in other gods. It is normal because they're human beings. They're using what the culture showed them. But when Jesus Christ returned, he will tell them and show them the right way for those who have decided to change to Christianity before his return. And those who are not, they're going to know how wrong they have been. All of those people are dying on TV. And people just believe, oh well, he's suffering. God is living into those children, into those people. You see, people, they are like bones. They're walking, the skin is pretty much touching the bones. And people have billions of dollars in the bank account. And they're spending money into images, into things that don't make sense at all. It makes sense into the reality, into the imagination. It's not because you believe that I suffer from my money that you think you're entitled of that money. God could have taken your food away. God could have taken your breath away. God could have taken your arm away. God could have taken your intelligence away. And you should have not have all of those things. So you're not entitled of anything. Your effort has been fruitful because of God's allowance from heaven, not because of your effort. You think that you're stronger than everybody? You think that you're smarter than everybody? No, I just mentioned before, everybody have an intelligence. Even the crazy guy who comes somewhere in Africa or in a village in Africa have an intelligence. And that intelligence have an equal success, like an intelligence of somebody who was born in America, like somebody who was born in China. Equal success. The point is, it is the devil who do everything so that some people in places like Africa become subservient of the New World Order, to make sure that the generation of Africans don't use their intelligence efficiently so that they can compete with the Western world. That's the difference. But as God is concerned, every single intelligence in any individual have equal chance of success. By default, what happened is the management and the control of men for money and for power. That is the problem we're facing in this world. And that's why only Jesus Christ can solve it. No man can solve that problem. The Antichrist will not gonna come and say, well, I can solve it. People wanna be, yeah, he's a young man. You know, we know the kingdom, you know, all this crazy crap. But at the end, you guys gonna be deceived, because you guys gonna go to a level of slavery, or somebody will not have the mark of the beast, will be shut down and killed like an animal. That's what it's gonna be. The problem is Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ alone that can save you. So you got to give your life now to Him, because you don't have enough time. I don't ever know if you have 30 years. Because I don't see that Pope living. I mean, he can live 30 years if he become a demon. He can live, because he can live 30 years. 30 more years, but I don't see that. He can live 30 years because, you know, he can live 110 and 120. God can give him that time, because based on what will happen. So it's possible. He knows what I'm saying is the truth. Lucifer knows what I'm saying is the truth, but none of them can touch me. They can make me suffer by using people around me, but they cannot touch my life. Because the hand of God is waiting for them to make a mistake. He will strike them. Yeah, they know that as well. So what they can do is use people around me to make me suffer. That's what they can do. But I will speak what is right, so that when God comes tomorrow and say, this man, or he's looking at me from heaven and say, this is my child speaking the truth to human being. And many of them are not listening. You want to wait for Jesus Christ to come from the skies in order for you to start making your house in order? It will be too late. You tell me. Let me give you a last example before I cut this off. If somebody call you a days ago and say to you, I will come and pick you up, we're going to have to go to visit somewhere, so you need to have your stuff ready. And in your mind you say, well, until I see his car parked out there, then I'll make myself ready. And the person said to you, we don't have enough time, so as soon as I come, you have to get into the car with all your stuff. But in your mind you say, well, until I see his car, then I will make my stuff. Do you believe that you're going to have enough time from where the person is to come into your home and knock your door? You're going to get all your stuff ready? No, you will not. And that is the lie from the devil. When that person parks his car out there, you think that you're going to be able to put everything together very quick. And by the time he get out of his car, walk and come into your door to knock, are you be ready? I'm ready to go. Help you out with the baggage, with the luggage. No, you will not. When you come in your house, you're going to be like, oh, I don't even know where's my shoes. Oh, I don't even know where's my bag. Well, I forgot this. That's exactly how things going to be when Christ comes from the sky. People are going to start trying to fix problems. And Jesus is going to say, please don't waste your energy. It is too late. That is not faith. It is called sight. It means you saw me, then now you want to fake it? Who do you think I am? Son of perdition. You're going to go to hell. That's what he's going to tell you. You do not wait until somebody come to prepare yourself. Because that is not faith anymore. It is sight or faking. Faith, it is to believe somehow in what people are saying, that is written in the Bible. So you believe that it is true. That is faith. So without further ado, I have a little bit of the change of temperature and all these things, but I will be fine. I did some good running today, and I look very healthy, and I'm good. Alright, I'll see you next time, and I hope that God gave you the wisdom to listen Do not die for the thing of this earth. Very, very soon, everything will have no value. Money will have no value. Everything will go. Only Jesus Christ will determine what is valuable. And you know what is valuable. Your faith to him when you were still alive before his return. It will not be those things. They'll be gone. Not your education. He will ask you a question. How have you used the intelligence I put in you when I created you? You're going to say, God, I went to school, I have a PhD or anything. That's not the question I ask you. How have you used the intelligence I gave you? Because if you say to God, I went to school, he's going to say to you, so you also use your intelligence when you were walking McDonald's? I mean, is that where you went to develop it? Maybe. It is a reference. Don't use reference to explain your intelligence. Use what is practical. How have you used it? Bill Gates going to say to God, I created Macintosh, I created Microsoft. Steve Jobs going to say, I created Macintosh. Mark Zuckerberg going to say, I created Facebook. And what will you say? I went and get a bunch of degrees, that's only going to serve me. If God asks you a question, how have you used your intelligence? If the way you use your intelligence is only vertical, is only in you, my friend, I don't think that it is your intelligence you use. Maybe you use it to serve yourself. And that's not the reason why God put it in you in the first place. Your intelligence was put in you to serve other people. So when God asks you a question, how have you used your intelligence? If you know for sure that you didn't serve no one, you need to start knowing that maybe hell is on the left side, waiting for you. Because he's going to ask you that one day. It's just a matter of time. How have you used your intelligence he put in you to serve others? If a mango tree uses intelligence to produce mango to be used, people go into store around the world purchasing mango. But a simple human being cannot use his intelligence so that it can be beneficial to other people. And when God asks a person, how do you use your intelligence? The person starts telling him how good he is. I went to this school, I went to church, I have a beautiful kid, I love my... That is not answering the question. You are promoting yourself. If you know that's the way you're thinking right now, I want you to revise again and review how to answer that question, because it will come. You should be a tree in which the fruit of your work can be beneficial for other people. Not to you, but for other people. That is how you use your intelligence. So before further ado, I'll let you and I'll see you next time. You can go to our website www.charitymetfounded.org or www.njohmetfounded.net, and I have other websites that are coming, and I'll see you next time. May God bless you, may God be with you. Hopefully this message penetrates your heart and your mind for a possible change. Hopefully it does. Because I know the devil is making your heart harder. Don't listen to this guy. He's telling you lies. He has his own problems. Why do not God come and solve his problem? Yes, God said to Jesus in the desert, you hungry, why don't you turn this rock into food? Jesus Christ said it is written. So I'm telling you the same thing today. To answer your question, it is written. It's up to you not to listen. The devil is a good liar and clever. Trust me, you're not smarter than him. So I'll see you next time. Follow up to my channel, the time, the validation of all truth. That's correct.